Peace, divine love, and divine harmony. May all of you be blessed. Nour Nation, we're back. We're back getting into it. I'm definitely glad to be here. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to still have this energy, shape-shifting, surrounding, encompassing, enjoying a life. Today, we're talking about consciousness. It is one of the mysteries of the world. Nobody can truly explain the depth of what our consciousness is. And a lot of people have a lot of questions. Well, today I'm here to give you some insight of what I've learned and what I believe to be what consciousness, or our consciousness, actually is. Have you ever actually, well, I know you have, times that you guys have woken up or been woken up early in the morning, or somebody's waking you up to go somewhere, and children do it so much. I know my kids do. When you wake them up, they're pretty much zombies. For the first 2 minutes, you can barely even communicate with them. Their eyes are open and they're standing up and they're there, but they're not quite conscious. Well, the understanding that we must have is that's because consciousness is not only connected to this physical body, but our consciousness continuously travels. When you wake up sometimes and you're like, hey, where am I? What day is it? What time is it? When did I fall asleep? And then all of a sudden, boom. You know exactly what day it is, you know exactly what time it is, and it hits you like a wall of bricks. That is your consciousness coming back from the mental plane, attached by that little string directly to your physical body, and it's flying back as fast as it can because you woke up a little bit too fast and it actually didn't know that you was about to, so it had to chase itself back and get back to you as fast as possible to give you the consciousness that you need in order to get through your day. So that's why the first couple of seconds it seems like you're not actually there, but then all of a sudden it snaps back. Now science proves when we sleep, we go into plenty of different stages. Of course, everybody knows about the REM stage. Well, in these stages, when we dream, our consciousness actually leaves our physical body. Even while we sleep, our consciousness is still traveling. And in the dream world, where all these amazing things and what we call unrealistic things are happening, that's where our consciousness flourishes. Now, what our ancestors knew is that although we could travel through with our consciousness into different dimensions and different planes of existence while we sleep, that also meant that we, with practice, could travel through dimensions and go through different planes while awake, which is why a lot of shamans actually were able to do that and conquer that task and that feat because they mastered the art of astral traveling. Now, the best way that I can illustrate the picture of how consciousness works is going to be through quantum physics. Now, quantum physics has begun to become really big in the scientific field. in the past decade or so. One of the phenomena in quantum physics today that could explain exactly how our consciousness works is quantum entanglement. Now, quantum entanglement is the science of particles, atoms, molecules able to communicate through vast, vast distances. For instance, one molecule on Earth is able to communicate with a molecule all the way in space, somewhere by Pluto. And when one is affected, the other responds simultaneously from whatever has happened to that other molecule. It's quite amazing. It's amazing, to say the least. And of course, I don't ever expect my Nour Nation to take what I say at face value. Always go in, seek knowledge, seek understanding. I want you guys to learn. I want us to learn together. I want us to grow. So definitely check out quantum entanglement. How it works is really amazing, and I'm sure it's a lot of other people that are into it like I am. But what happens is our consciousness is actually connected to the divine mind. The divine mind is the universal consciousness. Now, Hermetic principles teach as above, so below, which is the principle of correspondence, explaining that what goes on in the universe is also reflected on all planes of existence. And that does include Earth, the third dimension, the plane that we're on. So what we must understand is that our minds is just a fragment or a thought that was actually manifested from the universal mind. Exactly how our brain works, exactly how our minds work, is exactly a reflection of how the universal mind works. Sheesh! Let's get into it. That's profound when you think about it. We're all reflections of what's above. Science has also proven that we are made of stardust. Humans are made of nothing but star particles, which means that also we're reflections of the stars. But that's a whole other subject. But sheesh, that's serious. But as our consciousness is connected to the universal mind, everybody's consciousness, individual consciousnesses are connected to this universal mind. And once we are able to astral travel, what we think in that conscious mind, what we imagine in that conscious mind, is also sent through quantum entanglement, data waves, sound waves, directly to the universal mind. The best way to look at it is, imagine a vortex in space. Let's go ahead and call it a black hole. Now you have two people that are looking to apply to an art school, two artists. One of the artists has a tremendous work ethic, very talented, has a burning desire to be great, and a burning desire to be successful, and a burning desire to actually go to this school. The other child is going to apply, more talent than the guy before, okay? But the desire isn't there. His work ethic is okay, but his desire is not there. One's been desiring this his whole life to get into school. The other one kind of just got onto that road or to that path. Now, the thoughts that the one that's desiring this to get into this, to apply to this school, when he sends those thought waves out, imagine your thought waves are sent through the quantum entanglement to the universal mind, and his desire, his thought in words is huge, and it's vibrating strong. It's vibrating strong. So when it goes into that black hole, that universal vortex, it's big and it's strong. And then you got the other guy, and his is big, but it's not vibrating, on the same frequency, and it's a little bit smaller. Now, naturally, the way a lot of things happen is, when it goes into the vortex, both of them go in, they get sucked in, and of course, where one thing goes and flows in, another flows out. Principle of rhythm, right? Who do you think is going to go ahead and get into that school? That's how it works. Now, obviously, they both might get into a school, but if there's one spot left, universal mind is going to find some way to make sure that that guy with the burning desire, with the hard work ethic, who's been doing this all his life, who has that desire and sending out those big vibrational thought waves to the universal vortex, he's going to find a way to get in, and the other guy might have to wait. We have to understand that thought is what starts the manifestation. Your universal mind will respond to whatever you imagine. But one thing we must understand as well is, without radical action, thoughts are null and void. We are multidimensional beings, but we're also dual beings. We have feminine and we have masculine qualities. Now, obviously, on this third dimensional plane, we manifest in physical form in a masculine or feminine form. But masculinity and femininity exist on all planes. Sometimes, and most times, they're one. It's like an androgynous type thing. They're not separated in a physical way, because every dimension, of course, is not a physical reality. But of course, the creativity is going to come from the feminine. And of course, the will and the action, the radical action, is going to come from the masculine. But we must understand that without one another, there's no harmony. And without one another, nothing can manifest. You have to know the power of your mind, because your mind is what first causes everything to come into place. When we want to will something into existence, Nour Nation, we have to have the desire. We have to put in the work. You put in the work, because you're going to make it happen. There's no place for doubt. There's no place for fear, because it doesn't exist. Fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. Sheesh. Let's get into it. When I say fear is an illusion, that's matter of fact. We were taught to fear. That's a program. We'll get into that a little bit later, maybe on another episode. But once you understand that these principles are laws and they don't waver for anybody or anything and don't care about nothing else going on in the universe, then you understand that it's no need for fear, because you know, if you follow your laws, we all know that it's going to manifest. We must remember, time is an illusion as well. So don't be discouraged and don't be deterred if it doesn't come into the time during the time that you want it to be. You just keep pressing. You just keep the desire. You just stay fearless, because you're a multidimensional magical being, and that's what we do. Nour Nation, want to send out nothing but peace, divine love, and divine harmony. We're going to get into it. Appreciate y'all.